I will never stop exploring what's erotically possible. Like I can just like, oh, I hit that orgasmic plateau. Oh, there's more. There's even more pleasure beyond that. I'm so surprised there's more. I get like, wow, this is amazing.
But permitting yourself to have more.
Yeah. And even knowing that more is possible.
And allowing yourself to experience it, because I think a lot of people, they shut themselves down. I don't get to have that. I don't get to be fun. I don't get to be loved. I don't get to be happy. I don't get to be okay in my skin. I don't get to have this pleasure. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. And so we keep doing this, because, really, sex is about this, and our pain is all about this.
Yeah.
And so how do we start with the breath, of course, but how do we get from here to here? And I still work on that. Honest to goodness, I still work on that. And I'm, Hartley, blah, blah, blah. I'm human too.
Yeah.
How do you get, Tormented Sugar says, how do you get over stretch marks and hating them?
Oh my gosh, those stretch marks. I was so freaked out during my birth. I was like, I'm gonna get stretch marks. My life is gonna be over. No one's gonna love me. I had all this stuff in my head about my body image and my stretch marks, and like, okay, yeah, I had some on my hips, I got some on my thighs, I got some on my legs, weird places, didn't get them on my belly. But, and so how do I deal with this? And so one of the things I do is I do body massage on myself, so rubbing oil into them and just like practicing loving them, even though I hate them. Practicing loving them, it's a practice.
Yes.
And also, I just took a dance training, and one of the instructors had this rule about body image, which I thought was really great, which was about no one cares. Like your lover is not looking at the cellulite on your butt when you're having sex with them. Like it's like if I check in with my partner, I'll have these moments of like, oh, there's that stretch mark in my inner thigh, and I really hate it, and it's totally interfering with my pleasure. So I'll just check in with my partner, like, are you looking at that stretch mark? And he's like, no, I was thinking about my penis inside your vagina. And if he is, do I really want to be with him?
Right.
Like if he's really that focused on it. So that really helps me kind of get over it and start going, okay, I can love my body, and the more I love it, I notice the more my stretch marks go away. Maybe it's a little magic thing, I don't know, but I think that emotion is tied to our physical bodies, and so
certainly. Well, your work as a sexological body worker and working with people's somatic symptoms absolutely changes how your body can change with how you feel about it.
Our biography becomes our biology and vice versa. So what we say about ourselves becomes like a depressed person. What is their posture? Goes like this, and then that creates adhesion, scar. So when Ellen and I are doing our research, we're looking at 4 things: biomechanics, the physical body, right? What's happening? How flexible is a person? What's happening physically? Biochemistry. We're looking at blood chemistry and all that. The scar tissue and the emotion. So again, that rule has been so profound for me. Is just always looking at that when it comes to anything sexual, like. How is my arousal tied in with those 4 things? What's affecting it? What's keeping me from having an orgasm? It's one of those 4, or a combination.
Yes. redhottouch.com, reclaimsex.com. Do parents influence Sexy By. Do parents influence sexuality and how you act? How do you deal with it? Well, certainly our home environment does affect our sexuality. It affects what we think about it, what we witness at home in terms of parental interaction in a loving or not loving way, affects how we think about relationship, the opposite sex, what we expect out of relationship, plus whatever direct lessons we get from them about our bodies, about pleasure, about masturbation. And then of course cultural conditioning, and then our personal experiences with nice people, or that horrible boy from 7th grade who said that horrible thing about us that we remember 20 years later or whatever. So of course the influence, the key with any kind of spiritual practice is becoming aware of our condition, our situation, aware of our conditioning and where it came from, accepting that it is so, and moving on from there. We cannot change our past. And we spend all of our energy hating our past and squishing it down and doing this, and here we are doing this all the time. And we don't have room in our lives for anything but how unhappy we are. So part of it, now that we're adult, is choosing to look, heal, and let go of our negative conditioning. And the way we can do that, which is why I want to do more work with Jaiya, is that all of our negative conditioning, all of our experiences are in our bodies as kinesthetic muscle memory. And by going into our bodies, using pleasure, using guided imagery, using effective touch from a practitioner and a caregiver, we can be brought to, we can learn, we can be brought face to face with our issues one at a time and heal them through our body and replace the negative experiences and the pain and the harm with positive experiences, pleasure and orgasm. And eventually, over time, it does even out, which is why SexWise exists in the first place and why I want to work with people like Jaiya and Reed and Carol Queen and Tristan Taramino and all the great teachers that we have here, because we're all working at this one problem, all these different angles. And so please tell people one more time where they can find you.
RedHotTouch.com is my site. 101 Days of Pleasure is my you can hear my masturbation video blog, and Reclaim Sex is for parents and mothers who are reclaiming their sexuality. So you can visit any of those.
So thank everybody in the chat, everyone in the chat. You were so on it tonight. You were just raring to go and talking all about it. And a big thank you to everyone in the .me community and my supportive followers on Facebook and Twitter. You are the reason I do this. Well, you're half the reason. The other half is because I think it's really cool. And my guest again, Jaiya, redhottouch.com, reclaimsex.com, and 101 Nights of Pleasure.
Days
of pleasure.
I have to masturbate during the day.
Got it. Right. Our artist tonight was Twisted Figure Photography, www.twistedfigurephotography.com. And the music tonight, Citizen Savant, myspace.com/Citizen Savant. And don't forget to send your original non-explicit erotic art and music to media@sexwise.tv. It's our intention to support artists any way we can. Last but never least, my amazing, wonderful crew. This makes the show happen every Monday at The Hawk Show and at Efren, E-F-R-E-N. Find me on Facebook and Twitter at Nina Land. Don't forget at Kira Reed and at Marjorie Case, my brain trust of social media people, without whom this show would not exist. And until next week when Alana Pratt is our guest, be sexy, be wise, be sex-wise.